Hello. How are you? My pleasure, dear. You're looking very well tonight. Is it just you? Okay, okay. I'll let you close the door for her. Hello. How do you do? My pleasure, dear. It's my pleasure.
I'm good. You?
I am well, thank
How's
you.
it been?
It's been a slower date actually.
Okay.
May I learn your name?
My name is Tola.
Tola.
Yes.
Mine's Biniam.
Biniam.
Biniam. I think
Nice to
you're
meet
the
you.
first Tola I've ever met.
Oh, where you from?
I'm from Ethiopia.
Oh, wow.
May I guess where you're from?
Yeah, I have
I'll try.
Eritrea. I have friends from Eritrea.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Oh, very cool. We're basically like cousins.
Oh,
Did you want to
that's
say
so
goodbye to your...
Yeah. So long, sucker.
And he's the Deji?
Yes,
De-
Deji.
Deje. Two names I've never encountered before. Tola. Is it Tola?
Yes. And
Very
Deji,
cool.
Deji.
DJI.
Yes.
Are you from Nigeria?
Perfect. You guessed right.
That's my safe guess for any other African other than my country.
My goodness. Your Uber is like the best.
Mine?
Yeah.
Why is that so?
Your car is so cool.
Thank you.
You're so friendly.
Oh, thank you.
literally opened the door for me like, in the 21st century. Wow.
Oh.
I felt like recording it, but I just didn't want to breach your privacy. Like, oh my god, this is like the best thing.
Well, I'm happy to share my recording with you if you still like.
You have it?
I do. Well, I mean, here's the thing, Tola. One of the things I've done in my Uber travels,
Yes.
So I just came back to drive for Uber. But by the way, just pause. Look at that horizon.
Oh, God, so beautiful.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's the golden sun.
And the horizon with the mountains and all that together. Oh, it's worth taking in, isn't it?
It's so beautiful when you don't have to see eye-rise blocking it.
Oh, I'm not sure for how long, but this is just gorgeous.
This is gorgeous.
I agree. This is one of the reasons I love this area here.
How long have you been in Calgary?
In Calgary, this time about 5 years.
Ah, that's a while.
Yeah, I came here about 15 years ago to finish my studies, and then I went away to Saskatchewan, and I mean, I enjoyed Saskatchewan. It was lovely and beautiful in surprising ways,
Yeah.
but they don't have mountains.
Oh, that's sad. What do they have? What's like their tourist scene over there?
So there you have a lot of farmland. Do you know I was in the northern part of Saskatchewan? Now, being in the northern part of Saskatchewan, it was
Do you have water?
absolutely. Please help yourself.
What's going on? Is this a ride? Is this like Uber?
This is
or-
my
Oh
my
my God.
ride. Yes, please make
I think
yourself
you
at
should
home.
be like Uber elite.
I will tell you some of my goals in our brief time together because I've got some thoughts.
Are you married?
No, I'm divorced.
Oh.
I'm divorced, and I think I'm on the other side of divorce, a little wiser, maybe a better version of me than was before. Having learned some significant lessons that I needed to learn later in life. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a bit of my story.
Well, that's okay. Let's talk about the good things.
Oh, that's okay. You know, the good and the challenging I've learned to embrace because I think it's a part of the human experience, and I wouldn't have chosen them, but I feel they were integral in making me, a much better version now. So I do appreciate them.
That's
So
good.
it's not painful conversation at all.
It's a learning process.
Yes. I picked up a young guy the other night,
Yeah.
and I was asking how his night was, and he said, let's not talk about it. He'd broken up with his girlfriend. So we commiserated, but he didn't want to talk about it, which I understand, because sometimes it's so close to the pain, and you just want a bit of space, and that makes sense, right?
I feel like relationship is kind of tough in today's world right now, honestly. Like divorce is so popular right now in this generation, unlike over 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, people don't value marriage as much as they used to.
Mm.
People don't Secondly, we listen to things and we just feel like, oh, we relate to this. Meanwhile, the person's context
Yeah.
might be different from how we are perceiving the context.
True. I see that. Yeah, that's important distinction. You know, I agree. It's a very different world. I'd be interested in hearing from you what contribution you see social media having
Yeah.
offered that has especially contributed to it too. I also do see like another conversation that is okay. So there are the challenges, there are the contrasts that aren't helpful because, I mean, now it's a lot more difficult to find one's true north, given a lot of the, like you're saying, voices on social media that one can resonate with, regardless of if it's the appropriate context. So I agree with that for sure. And then I'm also grateful that there's more conversation now, and more space being given to like the area of mental health. I'm really grateful also for the encouragement for individuals to get to know themselves well enough that they can actually determine what their values are for themselves,
Exactly.
how to be able to have the confidence to stand up for their values, and also how to the resources we have accessible now, Tola, for what good friendships and what good relationships could look like, and how to be able to spot the red flags in the midst of unhealthy settings, I think is really a helpful thing that my parents didn't have in their generation or before, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, as I was listening to you, I was thinking about that context of sometimes there are settings where people stay for the wrong reasons in a relationship, especially when safety isn't part of that conversation, right? It's more almost like stay regardless of how this is going to affect you adversely,
Yeah.
sometimes in devastating ways. And so I also sort of temper that as well. But still, I would say we are in a season where there's a reason why psychologists
Yeah.
are very busy, right? And social workers, and we think they're trying to work themselves out of the job, but the demand is still very high because at the very grassroots level, it's still a challenge for people looking themselves in the mirror and wondering if they like what they see, for example, wondering if they matter by way of taking up space in the world, struggling with depression, struggling with their idea of what they stand for. So there are so many challenging areas. I do agree.
So are you focusing all of this on self-awareness?
You know, I think that's a really critical piece of that pie that should. Well, my question is, look at this sunset again. Oh my goodness. This sunset keeps on interrupting our beautiful conversation, but it's so beautiful, and that's why it interrupts us.
I want to take a video picture of it right now. Like,
Absolutely, feel free to if you like. Feel free.
Just that, like, it is so. Calgary is actually a beautiful city.
I agree. I'm very enthusiastic about it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we were saying. Are you
I was saying about self-esteem or self-awareness. You were saying.
Yeah.
I think I've been thinking about this for some time now. I wonder how we could serve our younger generations, like kids and teens,
Yeah.
in equipping themselves as they're growing developmentally with what it means to be who they are and how they can walk into this space. I had a ride earlier, Tola, with a young family, not a young family, sorry, a mom with her teenage girls and her 20-year-old son. And the question I asked was if they felt like they were grown up yet or not, especially the 20-year-old son. And he said, nope. And I said, I know what that feels like, because in my 30s, I did not know if I was grown up yet.
How old are you? Sorry to cut you.
That's okay. How old do you think I am now that I've given it away?
You said in your 30s.
I know.
I was going to say 31.
31? I'm 44.
Oh my
I
God.
seriously.
I really get to see you. For real?
I'm serious,
Oh my
darling. I've
nice.
had my vehicle filled with 20-year-olds who thought I was one of them. So it's.
Okay, I thought you were like my age. How old do you think I am?
I'm gonna say 26.
Oh, 29.
29.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yes, you look so very swell too.
Oh, thank you. That's a cool. Thank you.
You are. Yeah, I only have 2 decades only. Anyway, all that to say though, I was telling him in my 30s, I still didn't feel like I had that sense of being grown up, which is, I think, tied to what you were saying about self-awareness.
Yeah.
Self-awareness has something for me to do with how well does one know themselves to be able to engage the world
Yeah.
from how they understand themselves. And yeah, I lacked that for many years. Nonetheless, I think that is a really important part of that conversation. Really important, I would say.
Very important. You said, how well does a person know how to engage the world from how they know themselves?
Absolutely. I think many of us, like myself,
Yeah.
engage the world because we've been taught to align with values externally informed than internally convicted. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something, yeah.
And
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's, I think, a significant part of that struggle. We've learned from a very young age what happens socially if you're out of line, if you don't think like the rest, and if you don't subscribe to the narrative that is prevalent. And so that really robs one from actually critically thinking and saying, how do I figure out what makes sense to me, where my true north is? How do I learn how to articulate and have the confidence to stand up for what that looks like, despite what others say? That's a courageous move.
So beautiful. Yeah, that's honestly, you speak very intelligently.
Thank you. You caught me on a good day. You're sweet.
Oh my god, this is
I
one
like
of
you,
my
Tola.
favorite Uber rides. I'm not gonna lie.
Now, I was asking you why it was because when I was driving Uber 2 years ago, I took a 2-year break here, so I'm just coming back from my 2-year break.
Oh,
But before, when I did it, I had some really wonderful responses from those I got to ride with, and it was just beautiful. But it was the kind of feedback that it was noteworthy, and I was thinking, there's something beautiful here that I'm experiencing in a very short span of time. I would love, you know what it's like, Tola, when you discover something beautiful,
yeah.
and you're like, it's a crime if I keep this for myself.
Yes.
Other people need to have like a bit of
Yes.
this, right? So I thought maybe if I can share some of my experiences as an Uber driver with other drivers, maybe there's something that I'm doing that they could also subscribe to and maybe change their experience in beautiful ways. That actually took off much larger than my intentions, and not only drivers were watching, but also basically the whole world was watching, like all around, and they really resonated. And as a result, I took 2 years off just to try to figure out what is it I'm trying to do here. Coming back again, it's just such a pleasure again because there's opportunities we get along the way unexpectedly. And from what I hear from most of my riders, they get in an Uber, they kind of check out, get to their destination, and that's about it, right?
Yeah.
But what is it like when we take the moment to acknowledge those in our spaces, from the barista at the coffee shop to the janitor to the like whoever it is we're meeting along the way? How is it that we can maybe just pause a couple of moments to acknowledge someone's existence and say, I see you, and you're worthwhile seeing in the space that you're in. So that's why I really appreciate this opportunity. It's a great means for income, but even more than that, there's something more long-lasting
Yeah.
when you are able to make a memory in a meaningful way, right? And I find that worthwhile.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Honestly, I feel like you should own a podcast.
I do.
Ooh. What's it?
You're so sweet. I should ask you though, my dear, if you're open, and I would love for you to say no. Please say no, because I honor a no answer.
Okay.
And I have to say that part because culturally it's not comfortable for people to say no, and I want to really affirm that consent piece. But for the request I'm about to ask, if you're open to it, I would love to be able to share this video that I'm recording here with my viewers online. Again, just because it's a point of inspiration and encouragement for many who.
You go for it. Yes.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. I
that's
appreciate
okay.
that. Okay.
That's okay.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
I love your reasoning. I love the way you think. I love the way you speak.
Thank you.
I love that you have your own sense of awareness. You have your own ideology. You have your own perspective, and you're not afraid to say what you feel, how you think, and you're not afraid to share it with the world. And it's not you being malicious. It's just you sharing your perspective. So yes, please share this video.
I appreciate
What
that.
is your podcast?
So it's, if you search for my name, depends which platform you're looking. So TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, it's my name, Binyam, and then I'll spell my last name for you.
Yes. What is it?
ASRESS. Binyam asterisk
ASRE.
RESS. Yeah.
Okay.
ASRESS. And then if you search for that,
ASRESS.
you can find quite a bit.
Excuse me.
That's okay.
Oh, I see.
This sunset is
Yeah, I just
something
followed. I'm
amazing.
gonna,
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna share the video to
That's
myself.
amazing. Yes, in the next couple of days, just watch for it and I'll post it as well.
This is so good.
I ask especially just because sometimes, like, I'm very careful who I ask. I don't ask just
course.
anyone, but sometimes the things that we talk about, people don't get to hear these ideas. And when they encounter them, it actually is it can be a boost in a beautiful way. And so I appreciate you being willing to collaborate with me that way.
For sure.
Why Calgary for you, by the way?
Sorry?
Why Calgary?
Good question. I was in Toronto for a while, and then I was single in Toronto.
Yeah.
I met this man in
Yeah.
Calgary.
Yeah.
And we thought we're gonna start a family together.
Yeah.
So I relocate.
Yes.
I got a job.
Yeah.
I got a job in Calgary. I got a job in Toronto, but then the job for Calgary was paying, and I had a new boyfriend in Calgary at the time. So
Yeah.
I was like, why not? God says I should move, right?
Sure.
New man.
Yeah.
New job.
Yeah.
Higher pay, and
Yeah.
then I moved to Calgary. But relationship didn't work out.
Okay.
Job is working out.
Yeah.
Working out even better than I expected, and that's why I'm still in Calgary.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Here's an awkward question. Actually, it's not awkward. It's a if you could choose what it is that people are attracted to. So you're already beautiful, in case you did not know that physically,
Oh no, I know.
and
Thank
that's okay. Good. So it's, when attractive girls don't know, then it's troublesome for me. I'm like, you need to know this because then it helps you understand maybe what to nuance in case people are expressing interest.
My
I
parents
think.
told me.
Yes. Okay.
Right from time, so I just,
Okay.
just built that
Your
confidence
parents
for
are
me.
different from young men. Do you see what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yes, okay. Your parents have a vested interest. You're but there's something about if someone outside of the family, especially someone in your age category, is
Yeah.
expressing interest, then it's helpful to know what is it. But the question is this: aside from your looks,
Yeah.
which I mean only goes so far, what would you want people like your potential partner to be attracted to about you?
My confidence.
Your confidence.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a big deal for you.
Yeah, it's a big
Cool.
deal.
Okay.
And the sad truth is, many men have sinned.
That confidence.
Yeah, it gets them to feel inferior or intimidated.
I believe you.
Yeah, so
I
I've come to
believe you.
actually push it down.
Oh no.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I
I'm
don't
listening.
know, people see it as being too assertive.
Yeah.
So I've just come to really, just taking it down so much, and
Thank you for
I
sharing.
just try to, as a woman,
Yeah.
as a black woman,
Yeah.
I just see myself being more quiet as to when I actually want to, speak or be out there or talk, and
I'm gonna
oh,
sneak
it's
around.
closed.
It's close here. I'll just go around one more block here.
So I think it's my confidence.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
May I speak to it a little bit?
Sorry?
May I speak to that just a
Yes,
little
please.
bit? Okay. One of the things I've learned the hard way about relationships, it's a big deal who we give our hearts to,
Yeah.
who we open up our vulnerabilities to that way. And I would say, in addition to being careful who we give our hearts to, the best candidate is the one who makes space and celebrates your confidence. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
The best candidate is the one who actually continues to encourage it. I mean, you're already working on your version of being a better self
Exactly.
in your own way, but that doesn't
Every
touch. But that doesn't touch on what we're talking about as far as confidence. The confidence is something beautiful that is already inherent and worthwhile celebrating. And when you find you have to stifle it down, you're not coming out to be who you truly were made to be. I think. And so, like, it's more like leaning in and stepping into that, because the ones who aren't able to keep up that way are the ones who are probably going to keep you sort of stagnant and like down. And you don't want that forecast in life. You want something. Should I go in here, by the way? Is this, no.
Yes.
In here? Okay. Yeah, you want something, my dear, where there's almost like a, you know, like when you have a little ember and then you're trying to get the fire bigger, you want someone who's going to
Yeah.
fan that flame, I think. And it's worthwhile to be able to take the part that makes you you, especially the part that you really resonate with, and say, I like this, but you
Yeah.
don't want to tone that down for someone. In fact, you want someone who's going to be able to say, I see it, and I want to roll with you in making this a big part of where you're going to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I enjoyed our time. This is far too short of a ride.
You're an amazing person. I want
you,
to
my
pick
dear.
me up every time I order a ride.
I would
And
be
I want
so...
you, and I want to see you blow out. I want to see you on the Shades Room.
Thank you, darling.
Send me the videos, please. I just followed you on Instagram.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I'll watch you in the door here, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye,
Bye.
Tola.